2 years, 3 years, we are gonna see what we saw in UK now during these couple of years. I think that the trend, the momentum is exactly ready to do this, to proceed with this scale.
All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. This is another episode of the Constant Sports Podcast. We have another international / Miami resident joining us here today. How's it going, Michele?
I'm fine. Thank you. Good morning, all. Good afternoon, though, because now I'm in Italy and this afternoon. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. We got a little time zone change here. Yeah, we're diving back into the paddle kind of racket sports industry. We have Michele on. He is leading the U.S. product and strategy for Playtomic, that is, and really helping scale one of the world's largest racket sports technology platforms. And we're going to talk about kind of how he's working directly in the growth of paddle and what he saw kind of in the UK, and then how they're going to try to bring that into the United States as far as the market strategy and the infrastructure and how that's all going. And so let's just start with, a softball question, an easier intro question for you. When people hear Playtomic for the first time, what is that? What should they think of when they see or hear Playtomic?
I mean, Playtomic is one of the biggest applications in the world to find racket sport facilities, but honestly, is more than this. I mean, this is the basic feature, obviously, but the idea is to create the largest community of racket sport lovers. So, I mean, we aim to create and engage this community, and our idea is, if you like racket sports, if you want to find your facilities, but also if you want to find other players to play with, you can use Playtomic, and we can show you activities and propose you other players to play.
Got it. And I see it kind of answers one of the main, not problems, but issues with paddle is it's harder to get you need 4 players, right? It's not like tennis where you just need 2 or pickleball, right?
Yes, exactly. This is exactly the point. I mean, overall, every racket sport needs other players, as you mentioned. I mean, in tennis, more or less, you need to find at least one more. Pickleball is a little bit different. Maybe later we can discuss about the evolution of pickleball. But yes, something that is really important in Padel is not only that you have to find other players, but, and this is the key, you have to find other players at the same level and with the same intention. I mean, you can play Padel because you want to have fun. Maybe you want to play Padel because you want to create connection, networking. So you need to find other players with the same Padel idea and with the same level. And this is the best way to achieve this is use the technology. And this is what we try to solve. Let me say this thing. I mean, I'm joking, but sometimes people call it as Tinder Tommy, because we operate as Tinder because we create connection, but specifically in the sport industry, and I love it. I mean, for me, it's the best. It's the best way to describe what we do.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so kind of bringing like you said, it's more building the community, bringing the players together. And where have you seen? And now you're kind of, as you said, you're with the U.S. growth strategy. And so what is the push forward to the States? I know the United States is kind of a late bloomer when it comes to paddle. It's an international sport that's trying to, see the growth in America. So where's that headed? What's that been like?
I mean, yes, in the U.S. the situation is in a super early stage, let me say. Why? Because basically a part of tennis, which is something global, in the US, pickleball is really dominant. I mean, the pickleball is the US sport, a part of tennis. So at the moment we are seeing a lot of interest in Padel, and we are seeing great projects and business owners that decide to develop this business in the US, but the situation in terms of community is really at the beginning. I mean, I always do this example. In Europe, more or less, Italy, Spain, UK, if you stop 10 people, everyone knows about Padel. Maybe some of them didn't play in the past, or maybe doesn't want to play, but I'm sure that all of them know about Padel. In the US, the situation is exactly the opposite. If you stop 10 people, maybe now 1 or 2 know about Padel, and maybe only one tried at least one time. So
Yeah.
this is extremely interesting because the momentum is great. It's just the beginning. There is a lot of emphasis, so the business owners want to take advantage of this momentum. On the other end, the challenge is create the community and build the community from scratch.
Right, and you're using a lot of those same principles that you used in Europe and now bringing them to the States.
I mean, no, it's not. It's not so easy. I mean, yes, obviously, the idea is try to replicate what is working good in Europe and try to do the same in the US. But honestly, it's not so easy because the US market is different, the logics are different, the scale is different. I mean, for me, it's something. One of the first things that I recognized when I started this business was the dimension, the scale is incredible. I mean, even if we think about UK, which is great, France, Germany, I mean, the US is exactly more than the double the Europe. So I mean, if we speak about dimension and scale, if you do something in Miami South, is extremely difficult to reach if you are in Miami North. So you have to think this idea of community. Exactly, this is exactly the key point when we speak about community. It's true that we aim to build the US community, but inside this community we are 100 micro communities based on different states, obviously, but also different cities, because every single neighborhood is not so close to the other.
Right. When, like you said, finding out, the principles and the things that worked in Europe, and then it's a little different, obviously, in the States, but I think you were kind of also mentioning, it's like the learning curve where you said, maybe like 2 out of 10 people in the States know what paddle is, but then the other people have they got to learn the rules, they got to learn how to play. It's a whole different strategy. So it's a little like maybe some more education, I suppose, as far as your growth strategy in the States.
No, yes, 100%, you're right. And also, let me say, we see and we are seeing some common paths and some common scenarios. I mean, for instance, if I have to think about the UK situation a couple of years ago, maybe more, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I can recognize a lot of something very, very similar to the actual situation in the US. So super new sport, brand new sport, a lot of people more focused in UK in tennis with the concept of the country club. So basically at the beginning of our adventure in the UK, we were struggling about the idea of the Londoners and the UK people are ready to play a new sport, a social sport. Maybe yes, maybe not. We, since the beginning, we thought that the answer was yes, and we demonstrated now with the UK numbers. But yes, this is very, very similar to the stage that we are at the moment in UK, in the US. Sorry,
in the US. Okay, got it. And we mentioned a little bit before the call we started, but you've been with Playtomic for 5 years now, and so what has it been like? That 5-year journey, where you started, where you've been, and then kind of where we're going.
Well, I mean, long story short, I started in Playtomic in Italy because obviously I'm Italian. Because Playtomic in 2020, yes, more or less 2020, 2021, bought a local company in Italy. Basically, part of the strategy of Playtomic is made by merge and acquisition of local companies in some key countries, and basically I started my journey and my adventure in Italy, try to migrate local providers into Playtomic from the previous from the previous software. Then I moved to other markets. I followed the UAE markets, so Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia. Then I moved all around Europe, a little bit in UK, basically following these new emerging markets. And now landed fully in the US, try to achieve this result, which is try to grow the industry in the US. So yes, I mean,
so a lot of travel.
Yes, a lot of travels, which is the coolest part, let me say, but also a lot of knowledge, because I mean this is something that I always bring with me also in the future. I had the opportunity to literally see how Padel grow all over the world. I mean, again, if I think about 2021, 2022, when Padel just started in Europe, not in Spain, but in Italy or in Germany or in France, I remember that, again, it was something curious, let me say. People mentioned me, oh, okay, Padel, yes, is the minor version of tennis, is the unofficial version of tennis. I mean, everyone tried to think about Padel in a super funny way, and now is an industry.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah, no doubt, and it's really grown and expanding. And we talked about as well as kind of the evolution of pickleball and how that is kind of taken over the United States, if you will. But what has the evolution of pickleball been like from not an outsider, but from someone who sees it, internationally, and the growth, and then how the paddle could kind of fly along with those tailwinds?
I mean, it's very similar. I mean, what I can tell you is that basically the pickleball evolution in the US has followed the same path of the paddle evolution in Europe. Which is good. I mean, why? Because basically both of them solve a problem, generally speaking, which is the problem that I want to socialize in a funny environment, I want to improve, and maybe later I want to compete.
Sure.
So basically in the US, before Padel, they developed this pickleball industry, and the reason why was and is so popular now is because it is extremely accessible, even compared to Padel. Because technically speaking, we can play pickleball together, literally in a park. Or
put up a little net.
in a parking. we only need the net and something to do the lines, and that's it. So this easy way to play is something that helps a lot when you have to develop the sport. And basically pickleball started literally in the parks, basically with people that decide to play together with no rules, with no application, with no logic, but just because they want to have fun. Obviously, Padel situation is a little bit different. Obviously, the Padel court has different logic compared to the pickleball one. So yes, let me say, it's not comparable, but the main idea is the same. We want to find a way to have fun, to improve, to socialize in a super funny environment.
And there's also, speaking to the environment, the paddle courts are usually indoors, right? And so you have to build them kind of in these like warehouses almost, or where are a lot of these kind of paddle courts, especially in the US?
Yes, I mean, overall, we are seeing, and I can confirm you exactly this trend. I mean, it is quite demonstrate that a part of some specific areas where there is no rain, so basically it's always summer, but it's demonstrated that Padel is an indoor sport, also because, I mean, as business owner, you definitely want to protect your business, so it's not possible to build a business that potentially can be affected by the wind, the sun, the rain, so I totally agree with you. It is an indoor sport. In the US, and is a matter of scale again, we are seeing different developments according to different areas. Because in Miami, Miami is in terms of weather is super and extremely good. So basically in Miami we are seeing a lot of outdoor clubs that performing well. Obviously in Arkansas it's not possible to think about paddle outdoor. But yes, let me say, this is my opinion, so I mean it's only my opinion, but I see that and I think that more or less sooner or later, if you think about paddle as a business model, you need to figure out how you can cover maybe the warehouse is not the solution. There are other opportunities, like companies that helps you to cover the course. But if you want to provide 365 days business, you need to figure out a solution which is indoor or more or less indoor.
Right. Well, and I love it. You've mentioned the 365 kind of business, especially for these event centers or whatever they're hosting them. A lot of them will have the paddle courts and then maybe like a basketball court on the other side or some food thing, something there. So it's kind of like a big play on the community, right? Is kind of with the, the app, like you said, the Tinder for paddle, but then also you can go there and there's other things to do, maybe a place to eat. Do you guys build out like the whole ecosystem, or is it just kind of the paddle side and the community side?
No. We want this kind of behavior, and we built in the past, and we are building the application exactly in this way. The idea, let me say, the paddle potentially has to be the excuse to come, but the experience need to be absolutely more than paddle. And this is exactly your point. If we speak about how to play paddle, obviously you need a paddle court, you need a roofed court, maybe if you live in a rainy city, in a rainy area. But it's true that, especially now, it's not only a matter of paddle court, it's a matter of the entire environment, because as you mentioned, maybe I start to play paddle because I have fun, I want to try, but what I appreciate is the community that the club can generate for me. It's a matter of events, it's a matter of socialize, it's a matter of take good time, in good vibes, so 100%. And these vibes can be transferred not only if you are using a warehouse or a roofed court, is more or less a matter of how the vibes of the paddle club. And this is extremely interesting because we are moving the logic not only into a logic of I make money renting a court, which is part of the business, but more into I receive money if I create good vibes and good community. Right. And yes, technically speaking, in Playtomic, what we try to do is help business owners to do this with technology.
Right. And then speaking on the technology, what all goes into the technology? Do you guys use AI? Do you have kind of a recording feature in there? What's kind of the technology in the app look like?
Yes, especially now we are trying to add AI as much as we can. Internally, we are using AI to develop more and better, because obviously AI unlocks us the opportunity to be faster and better, but we also use the AI to improve our capabilities in terms of numbers. The AI helps us to understand better the behavior of the user, to understand better the progression of the user in terms of level. The level for us is crucial, is a key point, because again, it's something that unlocks opportunities. I can share you activities based not only on your location, but also on your behavior, and made for you according to your level. So the AI is helping us a lot in order to improve this algorithm.
And then do you, as far as got levels, maybe think of like tournaments and championships, are there a lot of, probably more now than ever, tournaments, rankings, how to, like professional leagues, is that coming to the States? Yes,
100%. At the moment, the paddle situation and the paddle environment is very fragmented. As you mentioned, is a matter of federations, is a matter of official leagues, is a matter of amateur players. But generally speaking, we try to focus on the amateur environment. Why? Because basically what we try to do is help you to play more, but to play more in a casual way. So it means that if you want to compete and if you want to participate to official activities, federated activity, maybe Playtomic environment is not the one you have to use. if you want to compete at this level. But if you want to have fun, if you want to do networking, if you want to meet other people, Playtomic environment is the correct one. So basically, in this sense, the market is divided by casual players, amateur players, even if the level is good. So I don't want to tell you that an amateur player can play good. But yes, the environment is divided in amateur and casual players and professionals one.
Okay, gotcha. And then I was curious, as you're on the the growth and strategy for the U.S., where do you see paddle in the next 5, 10, and we can go 15 years in the United States?
And my point of view, and also my dream, and I'm quite sure that is not only a dream, is a great increase of Padel owners and Padel clubs in the next, not 5 years, let me say in the next 2-3 years. So for me, in 2 years, 3 years, we are gonna see what we saw in UK now during these couple of years. I think that the trend, the moment is ready to do this. The momentum is exactly ready to do this, to proceed with this scale. And what, in my opinion, what I'm gonna see after is a Padel club which is an entertainment environment, which is super American. You know, for instance, let me tell you this that is super actual. You know, now there is the World Championship in soccer, no? So due to this opportunity to broadcast these soccer matches, most of the US clubs are organizing to let people see the match in the club, even if you don't want to play. This is extremely American. The way they take advantage of events, activities is extremely interesting. And as we discussed, they try to build a space which is not only a place where you go to play and stop, but potentially is an entertainment area where you can come to have fun, and that's it.
Yep. Well, and you were talking about the entertainment areas, and even in like American football stadiums, they have concerts, they have different sports there, they have soccer there, they have circuses come to town. Like, it's not just one sport, right?
Yes, I mean, exactly. Last time I came in Miami in March, I had the opportunity to saw some tennis matches in the Hard Rock Stadium for the Miami Open. And by the way, Sinner won, so amazing for Italians. But was incredible because it's exactly what you mentioned. Is a stadium not only built for sport, is a stadium used to concert, tennis, a lot of other sport, and also with the F1 circuit just around. So I mean, it's incredible because potentially they have, I mean, hundred opportunities to use this area in a different way. And let me say, it's something that also Padel clubs are trying to do. Obviously with a different scale, but yes, the logic is exactly the same. And in my opinion, it's perfect because especially now where the community is not so well developed, so I don't have so much players that every day wants to play, so the demand is not so high. I need to find alternative ways to let the people know what Padel is and the opportunities that they have to play and to try.
Good point. And as far as the first-time paddle players, and maybe some Americans who are just hearing this for the first time, what would your advice be for some first-time players coming to a club, joining the community?
Yes, I mean, for me, something which is very important, especially if you are a beginner, so first time you try Padel, is to focus on try like an intro to Padel session, basically having the opportunity to interact with the coach, because this is the person that help you to unlock not only your Padel skills, but also your Padel obsession. Because, instead of going and play and that's it, which is, let me say, a little bit disruptive, I definitely prefer to follow like an academic path. In this process, I'm a little bit fan of the tennis environment. Not because I don't want that someone goes into the Padel court and plays, but because I think that especially at the beginning of the community, the role of the academy and the coach is extremely important. Is super, super key.
So does each community have a designated coach for that community?
Yes, because I mean, if I had to speak about the development of Padel in some areas in Europe, the demand was extremely high compared to the supply. So, you know, in terms of business, is absolutely better renting a court and that's it, instead of organize an academy, involve a coach,
Right.
and split the bill with the coach. But this is extremely interesting in short term because it helps you to grow your business and to earn much money. But in mid-long term is not sustainable because there is a turnaround point where if I don't understand the paddle logic, I stop to play.
Yeah, you're just not. Yeah, you're
And
not going to come.
especially in areas where the situation is exactly the opposite, like the US, where the demand at the moment is not so high compared to the supply. The coach plays a super key role because he's, you know, the link between the sport area and the engaging area is your point of reference. So yes, every time someone in the US open a new club, I definitely suggest him to invest in coaches.
Okay, interesting. Gotcha. And then as we're wrapping up here, where can the listeners and viewers find you on the socials or LinkedIn and whatnot, but then also Playtomic and for, you know, potential paddle franchisees and people who are trying to get into the sport?
LinkedIn, they can reach me on LinkedIn 100%. Also in Playtomic, I mean, I'm also a paddle player, so I have a profile on Playtomic, and they can write me and search me on Playtomic. But yes, I think that LinkedIn is the best way to keep in contact.
Wonderful. And then I did want to touch on that a little bit. So as you create your profile on Playtomic, you can put your level in, your stats, all that information, right? So you can easily connect with people.
Yes, 100%. I mean, the idea is we have different opportunities for players. I mean, again, as we mentioned, the basic one, which is the opportunity to see into the same app 100 paddle facilities, not only racket sport facilities all over the world, but the other one is the opportunity to track your activity, which is really, really important because it is an app where you can every day track your activity, booking classes, tournament into the same environment. And lastly, we also have like this community area where you can interact with people, to engage with other one, to find other players to play with, to communicate with them. So imagine like a mix between Instagram for the community part and WhatsApp to facilitate the communication, obviously inside the racket sport environment.
Yeah, I see. Okay, gotcha. And then as we close here, maybe some last thoughts as you had on building, you know, helping, you know, build Playtomic and the growth of it as you continue to build.
No, I mean, for me, something that I want to transfer to our listeners is related to the sport tech industry in general. Because, I mean, every time we speak about, obviously, Padel at the moment, but in general, racket sport industry, we always try to be focused on KPIs, metrics, return of investment, which it has totally sense because it is like a business model and an industry. But for me, something which is really, really interesting, and we need to take care about this, is the social impact that we can generate every time we speak about sport. And for me, this is extremely important because, you know, sport is like a medicine, it's a matter of discipline. And every time we help people to play more, to stay healthy, and we use technology to unlock this potential, we are not generating only money or new users, let me say, but we are generating a social impact. So this is something that I am really, really proud about Playtomic, but not only, in general, the sport tech industry.
Well, okay, well said, well said. I appreciate that. And I think you made a great point there, especially with the sports tech industry and kind of building that. inside paddle, but then also the other industries as well. And we appreciate you coming on the Concert Sports podcast today and talking about Playtomic and the growth and kind of your role. And we're looking forward to following you and your career, but then also with Playtomic as well. So thanks again for joining us today.
No, thank you for the opportunity, and let's organize a match when we cross, maybe in UK.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do it.